My man, slide on in here, brother. Yes, sir. We doing it live, so we winging it. We make sure you can hear and you can be heard.
No doubt about it. Tyrann Matthieu, man, welcome into the pregame show. We're gonna get his volume set up here real quick.
We're gonna get everything set up. But Chuck, yeah, back to the families. You got volume on that, dog?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes,
all right, good deal. Hit Lexus, yeah, put him a stand or something because it's kind of low. Yeah.
There we go. No doubt about it. Welcome into the pregame show. You came here to support Coach Prime's camp. And what have you seen thus far?
Oh man, it's a great atmosphere. It's a great environment. I think that's the start, right? Just trying to build the right culture. Like I said, the right atmosphere. Just trying to get these kids' spirits, liven up a little bit. So
no doubt,
it's off to a good start, in my opinion. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now I got to tell you this. What prompted us to call you over, because we did an interview with you earlier, recorded. I was telling Chuck the story about your son going through the barricade.
Oh yeah.
Chuck, I mean, and he didn't drop the ball.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, he's a football player for sure.
Yeah, man. And when the medical staff rushed over there, security, like, you okay? He was like, I caught the ball.
Yeah.
What y'all talking about?
Yeah, it's in him.
Yeah.
Do you remember your time going through camps like this?
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. Down in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Shout out to
Dave Johnson, Coach Dale Lee Collins. I probably say those two men were really the first men to kind of put me in these kind of environments. A lot of competition. Obviously a lot of eyes, a lot of people watching you. And it's the right kind of exposure too. I think at this level, we want these kids to compete against each other and to feel that exposure.
So would you say those camps back in New Orleans, helped develop you, then through LSU, then through the league competition, eyes on you, so you were used to it when you got to that level?
Yeah, absolutely. Because most people that come to these camps, they're the best players in this area, and if you can compete with these guys, you could go back home or go back to your high school or wherever you're from, and you can feel like you're somebody. You can have that confidence, and that's what you want these kids to have. Obviously you want them to have that work ethic, but you want some of them to have to believe in themselves. They have to have that confidence. In order to get that, you got to go up against your peers and compete against them.
Mm-hmm. Talk about the New Orleans high school football scene, because coaches make a beeline down to New Orleans to get talent. There are so many great players that come out of the New Orleans area. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh man, it's we call it the gumbo pot. Down in Louisiana. All you gotta do is stop by. You never know what you're gonna come across, what you're gonna find. But it's a lot of talent down there, man. That's why I'm so big in the community down there. Just trying my best to keep those kids encouraged. And then I think me too, just showing up, even Coach Prime, just him showing up and having kids see him. I mean, that there alone gives kids hope, that somebody's watching them, somebody's paying attention to them, and, that sometimes that makes us work harder. That makes us, keep a clear vision and keep our eyes focused on our goals.
Sure.
Now, we talked earlier during our recorded interview. You talked about when Coach Prime reached out to you, but he also reached out to you when you were going through some struggles, and you just touched on having somebody believe in you. What did it mean to you when Coach reached out to you back then?
Oh man, it was everything for me. I probably say because that was probably one of the toughest times in my life. Really being up for the Heisman and playing in national championship games and then just having all that stuff taken away from you. I feel like a lot of people turned their back on me, but when Coach Prime showed up, man, his spirit is one of a kind. When he walks in a room, he's one of the most genuine people I've ever met in my life. And just for him to kind of embrace me, put his arm around mine, and just support me, man. And then I think too, him just believing in me, that I could play at the next level. That for me, because we talking about the greatest cornerback to ever play the game.
Yes.
And so for him to see anything in me, that was enough for me to kind of keep going, keep pushing forward,
Now, I'll tell you this, I have referred to him as the greatest cornerback to play the game, and he stops me and says, Greatest player.
Greatest player.
Don't just focus on that position. It's all of them.
I'm gonna take that back, because I know you're gonna watch this,
right? Exactly.
Coach Prime definitely one of the greatest players.
Speaking of influences, obviously Coach Prime was an influence, but were there other cornerbacks that you emulate and wanted to kind of pattern your game?
Oh, absolutely. Charles Woodson. He was big on my list. Him and Coach Prime really was probably 1 and 2. And then outside of that, Patrick Peterson, who I played with at LSU, who's having a great career in the NFL, and I probably say Ed Reed too, who's from down in Louisiana, not too far from where I'm from, New Orleans, and I probably say those 4 guys, man. I always wanted to emulate them. I always wanted to be like them, from the trash talking to my sock game, just wearing armbands, just trying to do whatever I can to kind of stick out. I gotta give those guys credit.
No doubt. No doubt.
Absolutely.
Now, we got this list of positions. Is there any coincidence the DB's going last today?
Oh no, you gotta say the best last. You gotta say the best last. I know it's an offensive game nowadays, and most of the athletes play offense now, but when I was coming up, like we were just talking about, most of the guys I like, they played on the defensive side, and they was just as good as the offensive guys. It's no coincidence the DBs are last.
The star group.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna show you this now. We don't have to play it, but let's play it. This is Chuck.
Okay.
Yeah. You can time my 40 with a hourglass.
Now here's the kicker. Now I sent that to Coach Brian. This is his response.
I went off him a 3-piece spicy.
Y'all, so you know what's going on. Chuck tested the timers for the 40, ran the 40. It's on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
I sent the clip to Coach Prime, and we got athletes out here, and they're getting scouted for scholarships. And Coach Prime replied, "I wouldn't offer him a 3-piece spice."
Oh man!
It starts with speed, that.
Right.
And we look for fast guys, and luckily Chuck's playing days over. So
luckily I play golf now. So.
Right.
Exactly.
Nah, it's not a bad sport.
No,
I couldn't bring you on and not ask. In terms of playing in the NFL, who are some receivers that are just tough matchups? Because when we take a look at every team has that Megatron
guy.
type guy.
I mean, man, it's so hard to kind of, pick a 5 or 10 guy list. Because it's literally a guy on every team. But I practice against Tyreek Hill.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, which is a headache, for me most days. But it's good work. And Travis Kelce, he's another one that gives me good work in practice. But I played against DeAndre Hopkins. I tell you a story. Week 3, my rookie season, I'm out on the field and I'm warming up. We playing against the Detroit Lions. Most people see me in person, they're like, "Oh, they thought I'm big." They always think I'm bigger than I'm actually am. But I'm fairly small. But so I'm out on the field and I'm warming up, and Calvin Johnson comes out the locker room pregame.
Oh wow!
And I never forget me just looking at him and staring at him. He looked like he's 7 foot.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at him like, wow, like I gotta check him today. Like it's gonna be a long day for me, but. Man, there's so many guys, man. Calvin Johnson's, Anquan Bolden. I never forget when I played against him. I mean, he's just one of the toughest guys.
Yeah, he can take a hit, man.
I mean, he's gonna play every part of the game.
Yeah,
he's gonna block. He's gonna do everything it takes to win. And but even going back to Arizona when I first got into the league, playing against Larry Fitzgerald in practice.
Oh wow.
So I feel like
technician himself.
Oh, absolutely, man. So crafty, so savvy, man, and very smart. And I was always impressed with him because, as much as he kicked my butt my rookie year, he always taught me the lesson. So and it kind of helped me, cover guys like Calvin Johnson and Anquan Bolden of the world, but DeAndre Hopkins. But yeah, man, it's been a couple guys that are just that good.
No doubt.
But man, you hit it on the head. You're going to get some dogs in practice. Sunday and Monday nights get to be pretty relaxed.
It's fairly easy. That's it.
I say that about Coach Prime. When he was in Atlanta practice, he's guarding Andre Rison.
Yeah.
He goes to the 49ers. He's Jerry Rice. He goes to Dallas. He's up against Michael Irvin.
Yes, sir.
When he gets to Sunday, it's a drop off, man.
Yeah.
He's ready.
Yeah. That's why the work is so important. That's why I like to come out and watch these kids work, because we talk about speed, right? And that's one of the things you can't coach. And you can't coach work ethic neither. So you want to see who works the hardest, and obviously who has speed, who listens to you when you're talking. I feel like those three things are things you can't coach. And if you have a player that have all three of those things, you got a guy that you can really work with.
Well, speaking of some things you can't coach, let's talk about a generality of just being coachable. How important is for these young guys out here to understand, because they're getting coached now. There's some animation going out there. How important is to understand that tough coaching is part of this process?
I mean, I'll be honest with them. A lot of kids want to be great, and I always remind them that most of the great players I've been around, Coach Prime, Patrick Petersons, the Charles Woodsons, the Palomalos of the world, Ed Reeds, all these guys demanded their coach to coach them, hard. Even me today, I expect my coach to coach me hard. I expect him to be critical of me, because that's the only way I'm going to get to my next level. Because we could get comfortable. Most of us have been playing this game since we was 5 years old, and we think we know all the rules. We think we know all the ins and outs, and it's always something you can learn. So even today, 29 years old, going into my 9th year, I'm still one of the more coachable guys.
9 years.
Team, 9 years already.
9 years. It flew by. And I never forget when Coach Prime came to, I was actually in Deerfield, Florida, when he came to see me after I got kicked out of LSU. And, that was like 10 years ago. So, man. Yeah. That was a while ago.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, man, it's been a pleasure having you stop by here.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Able to, get some insight.
Yes, sir.
I gotta tell you, man, this I got two schools, JSU and LSU, and to have you sit here with us on this day, because today is my birthday. Today is my
happy
50th
birthday,
birthday. I
man.
appreciate
Yes,
that. So to spend my birthday with the Honey Badger, man, I'm going home, man.
I appreciate that. Yes, sir.
No doubt to visit with you, man.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
Man, good deal, man. We catch up some more. Enjoy the camp, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all. See y'all.
It's Charles Bishop Neely, the Honey Badger, here on the pregame show here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be right back after these messages.
Follow the Black College Sports Network and